records. Smell the cover, read all the verses. Tell me about your favorites on vinyl and vision.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the latest episode, 78. Today's very special guest is Dave Kuzy of Microwaves from Pittsburgh. Microwaves has a new album out, Discomfiture Atlas. What you're listening to is the first single off of that album called Your Dumb Guts. There's also a killer video for that song, which we will provide links to both the album and the video in the show notes. So go get those. Microwaves will be on tour very soon promoting this new album, and will be at No Coast Fest 2022. It's a stacked lineup, it's a great bill. I encourage you all to get your tickets. Links to No Coast Fest will be provided in the show notes as well if you want to get your tickets to that. At the end of the episode, I'm going to feature a small clip of an older song off of Via Weightlessness, a song called Antibody. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and if you enjoy it, we ask that you please do all the things you do with the internet, like, share, comment, subscribe, rate, review, all of those things. We appreciate it very much, and we will see you very soon. Enjoy. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you, man?
Good.
Cool, man. How are you feeling?
Good.
What's the haps? What have you been doing these days?
Oh, wow, that's a weird question. I mean, trying to keep the band up to speed, on new material. We got a tour in the fall, so we're trying to get ready for that. Basically that.
Right.
Yep.
That's cool. How is the band doing right now? I know last I saw you was you were coming through Providence.
Right. Yeah. And it's the same band as you would have seen. Adam McGregor playing bass, who has replaced Johnny Arlett, who was in the band for 10 years. So, yeah, but he lives in a different city, so we don't practice with him every week or anything. But John and I get together twice a week, pretty much. Keep busy.
Yeah, John Roman, right? The drummer?
Yes, that's correct.
That's cool. So are you guys the primary songwriters? It's just the two of you, typically?
Everybody has a hand in it. What usually happens is I'll write a bunch of music and send whoever's in the band, in this case, John and Adam, a rough arrangement with electronic drum part, and which is just a sketch. And song doesn't necessarily stay in that format. Parts may get rearranged a little, but it's more or less the way it ends up. And then everybody writes lyrics.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, John probably writes more than anybody.
Lyrics even. Lyrics too.
Correct. John probably writes more lyrics than anybody else in the band.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He even sings on 2 songs on the new record. So
cool.
Which is something that hasn't happened in a while since we were a 2-piece.
That him singing, you mean?
Correct, yeah.
I thought you meant a record, a new record.
Well, no.
That hasn't happened in a while either.
No, it never does.
Yeah. So. How long
In 2018.
This was the last record
Yes.
via Weightlessness?
Correct. We actually have
2018.
the new one's coming out in October. Although,
Oh, it is coming out in October.
oh yeah, I will say that we already have it. That the way when we sent it away earlier this year, we didn't know when we were going to get it back. So the date we picked was October to coincide with the tour.
Oh, cool.
But we're sitting on a pile of them. So
Well, that's good. I mean, that's always nice to know because the delays have been so astronomical.
Mhm.
It's nice to know that you don't have to deal with like pre-sale stuff and then kind of like waiting around and waiting to see when they show up and that stuff.
Right.
And you ship them right out as soon as they're ready, as soon as you release it.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, I mean, not to give away anything about the record. I mean, more so than you're comfortable with sharing, obviously. Do you know when you are releasing it officially?
I think it's October 15th. I'm not looking at a calendar at this second, but
Okay.
it comes out. We're playing a local show the week before our tour starts, and that will be the release show. I want to say it's October 15th, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. All right. And so if this were to come out in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, let's just say, which I think is probably accurate. I mean,
yes.
Do you have a title for the record that you can share?
Yeah, it is called Discomfiture Atlas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what? I mean, it took a long it took a long time to record this record. I feel like you've been recording it for a long time.
Well, it actually didn't. It's funny because I got a Facebook memory today, and today was the 1 year anniversary of us tracking the drums.
Oh.
So, and it was done. So this is August. It was basically done in January, which it's kind of a long time, but considering that everybody involved lives in different cities, it really wasn't that bad. So we had intended to make a record back in 2020, but obviously nothing happened in 2020 for anybody.
Right.
So
I think
most of the material is the
of.
same. Some of it was rewritten, over the pandemic and in the 6 months after, but more or less, we started making this record a year ago.
Yeah. Wow. That's weird. I think that's what I was confused with because I remember I spoke with John. I guess it was over a year ago now, a year and a half almost, and I remember him saying how the pandemic kind of ruined your plans for recording. So I guess that's why I felt like it had taken so long.
We had tracked some of the same material that's on this record back then, but we just started from scratch when we did it this time. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Lineup change and everything might as well.
Right. Yes. Correct.
Cool. And you have the records already too. So that is pretty quick.
Hold on a second.
Sure. Is that the new record?
Yeah. I'll just show it very quickly. I don't want to. I mean, this is going to come out a little later, so it's fine. It's called Discomfiture Atlas, and this is more or less what it looks like.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Put it back up. Put it back up for a second. There it is. Oh, okay. Same motif as Via Weightlessness.
Yeah. So we did the Kraftwerk 1 and 2, Henry Cow, sort of same cover type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've never done before, so.
Yeah. You think that's going to become a kind of a regular motif now? Or like you're going to kind of regular theme?
I don't know. I doubt it. It's sort of the thing we do. Probably we'll do this just this much and that'll be it. But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. That's great though. I mean, cool. I'm so excited. Can't wait to get my hands on one.
Sure.
Coming October. So what is the tour that you're doing?
Okay. We're the purpose of the tour is to get ourselves to Texas because we are playing at the No Coast Fest there.
Right.
In Denton, which is sort of north of Dallas Fort Worth. And being that we're in Pennsylvania, we can't just drive down there to play Saturday. So we're going to do a full week's worth of shows to get there.
Right.
Which is going to take us pretty far away from there to begin with. We're going to be in Chicago and Milwaukee and other places before we get down south. But that was the whole impetus behind this. Plus, we have the record coming out, so we need to go out on the road.
Yeah, great. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm very excited for you. I mean, it's always going on tour is a exciting prospect. I mean, I know that there can be still at this moment, there's still some hesitation. You know, I mean, COVID is not gone. It's never really going to go away, I don't think. But you guys play it safe.
Yeah, so, and we've all got our shots and all that. So
yeah,
it helps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and so, you know, I expect you guys to have a successful tour, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the No Coast Fest.
Cool.
On the 28th is when you're playing, correct?
I believe that's right. Yeah, the Saturday.
Or the 27th is Thursday, 29th maybe?
Yeah, it's the Saturday of the fest.
Saturday.
So,
yeah. I get my dates mixed up too.
Yep.
Cool, man. Yeah. So I wanted to have you on the show tonight to discuss an album that is important to you.
Sure.
Now, you chose the Jonzun Crew's Lost in Space.
Right.
Oh, you have a copy.
I do, yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, true testament to your passion for it. Now, now it kind of caught me off guard. It kind of came out of left field for me when you chose this record. I don't know it. I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I wasn't when you mentioned it. Why this record?
Couple reasons. Well, I even though I've liked this type of thing for a while, I only got a copy of this like maybe in the last year or two, and even though records cost too much nowadays, you know, I still was able to find this for $3 at a flea market. It probably has something to do with my age. I was born in 1969, so I would have been 14 when this came out, and it's very futuristic in a way that seems to have been abandoned by people in music overall. And it's futuristic in a way that other things were futuristic at the time. Like, for example, this came out the same year as the Herbie Hancock record that had Rocket on it. You know, Herbie Hancock working with Laswell and the Material folks.
Right.
So just the use of technology at the time was, you know, probably well ahead of what most people in pop or rock music were doing. And I was a science fiction nerd as a kid, and it appeals for that reason.
Okay, yeah. I see. Well, that actually, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. See, and that's the thing. That's kind of like one of the beauties of doing something like this and kind of getting to know somebody's intimate kind of musical history, because that makes a lot more sense. Because you are kind of an engineer of sorts, correct? I mean, you have more of a scientific mind, I feel.
I don't know that I do. I dabble in working in electronics, and I have a job where I work on electronics, but it's more of a system level as opposed to, you know, actually troubleshooting circuit boards or anything like that. I mean, education wise, I have a degree in English literature, which has nothing to do with my job, but I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. Well, because I know that you build pedals, right?
I do build pedals, yeah. Although I don't do that as much as I used to. It's an expensive hobby, and I have too many expensive hobbies. So I build stuff when I need to, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Right.
But I used to build and sell quite a bit, but it's hard to sell a lot. That the DIY effects market is super oversaturated, and so I build stuff that amuses me, and then, you know, sometimes I'll make extra and sell them. Yeah.
Sure. Well, so what's like one of the most kind of elaborate pedals that you have built, like for yourself, like just out of kind of like sheer curiosity?
Well, probably the most elaborate thing I ever made. I made a ring modulator with a bunch of not that a ring modulator in and of itself is necessarily that complicated, but I made one that actually went to Adam McGregor, who's our current bass player, years ago, but with lots of ins and outs and, you know, control inputs and outputs for everything. And it took me, you know, probably a week to put the thing together. And the end result I was pretty happy with, but, you know, you can't really do that and sell stuff because, you know, any major manufacturer can build something that complicated in, you know, 30 seconds. And
sure.
Yeah.
Mass marketing, mass producing too. I mean, it's more
economies of scale. Right.
Sure. Of course. Well, that's cool though. I mean, it's such an interesting hobby, because I mean, I've always been fascinated by that stuff, but I am not capable to work with my hands for the most part. Like I don't know. I just like
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
especially electronics. It's so like overwhelming. Like just looking at a circuit board and trying to like figure it out to like do like to fix stuff. Like I had this amp just sitting around for the longest time that I was just like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to fix that thing. You know?
Sure. Well, and a lot of stuff is not built to be fixed nowadays. It's built to, it's priced so that you buy it, and if it breaks, the repair would be more than the cost of the item. And that's not just in musical electronics, it's in everything. But
sure.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah. Yeah, I own a home. I know.
Right.
So now back to the record, Lost in Space, Jonzun Crew. So what, you got it in 83 when you were 14?
Oh, heavens no. I got it like 2 years ago, but like,
oh, okay.
I've long admired that type of thing and sort of become more obsessed with getting a hold of older examples of that now.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what were you listening to when you were 14?
Oh, horrible music, like whatever was on classic rock radio.
Yeah.
Like Led Zeppelin, The Who,
That's not horrible.
No, it's not. Of course not.
It's not like monumental. It's not like anything kind of like groundbreaking. It's just, I mean, especially at the time. I mean,
of
83.
Course, yeah. Yeah. Like, and I lived not in a major city. I lived out like about an hour outside of Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's not that big of a city to begin with. So,
Okay.
I get it. Sticks.
Yeah. So, I mean, like kind of little amounts of culture.
Like
classic rock radio is kind of the best and easiest thing. Most
like,
accessible.
Like Cream and Spin, when they appeared. Well, I mean, Cream always existed. But once I found out about it, things like that and Spin, like, helped me find out about other stuff. I know it sounds weird to say Spin, but it was like kind of a big deal if you were like a small town kid back then.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, right.
And I don't know what it turned into, but it's like that's where I heard about Captain Beefheart, I think.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Back in 83, was Spin around in 83?
No, but like 85, 86.
Okay, all right.
The general.
That's what I thought it was something around that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So so this is a weird record now. Now that's the thing is that like, I mean, typically I ask for you to choose a record that is kind of influential to like your art form and like kind of what you make. You only kind of experimented with this record recently.
True, that's true. Yeah. Although I guess maybe it would have made more sense for me to pick like one of the Herbie Hancock records that came out back then.
Sure.
But I felt this was more of a wild card, like, and people might not pay attention to it because it doesn't have the name recognition that Herbie Hancock would.
No, and I understand that too, because I mean it's interesting for sure. I mean, and like I learned about this record and then this group because you chose it, and it's interesting for sure. So for people that don't know, I mean, the record itself, the music is kind of a 80s, like your semi-typical 80s hip hop style,
right?
And I guess it's called electro.
I would say so, yeah. And it's probably like like the American heir to whatever Kraftwerk started, for example.
Right. It is kind of a blend of like krautrock.
Sure. Oh yeah. And one interesting thing about it is that maybe sets it apart from a lot of other electro stuff at the time. Even though the drums are electronic, they're actually playing them live when they record them.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's not actually sequenced like a lot of things would be.
Right.
Makes it feel a little looser and less tight, which is good.
Kind of more of a real band vibe as opposed to like the 808 that was popular at the time.
Right.
But
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I like there's some really funny things about it, like the first song on there, "We Are the Jonzun Crew." It's like total like exposition, and it's kind of ridiculous. They're like, they tell you who they are. We are the Jonzun Crew. They tell you what they're going to do. We're here to rock you. Although there's a lyrical conflict between that one and the song Ground Control, because in We Are the Jonzun Crew, they say, we are from your planet too. But in Ground Control, they're talking about how they have to leave Earth to get back to their place of birth. So I don't know if anybody has can track down Michael Johnson and get some clarification, but
Yeah, that's up for very very large debate, I guess.
Right.
The continuity is essential with these records, you know.
Clearly. And of
But
course,
but
go
so I
ahead.
mean, electro. I had actually never heard of electro. I mean, from
Hmm.
what I had learned of it, I mean, I'm familiar with some of the bands and the groups that were kind of in that lineage of that genre,
Right.
if you want to call it that. Um, are you familiar? Like, do you listen to any of that other stuff too, or
I like Nucleus, for example.
okay,
Yeah, that's really good. I like a lot of like early rap, like Run DMC, like the really early stuff, like Grandmaster Flash and all that.
okay,
It's,
yeah,
you know, it's,
sure,
and it's funny because I didn't listen to it that much as a kid, even though I'd heard it, and it sounded very alien at the time, and uh,
it was kind of. I
it
mean,
really was like something like the
especially
message,
growing
like
up like where you were listening to Led
oh
Zeppelin and the
yeah,
Who. I
sure,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
this is
and
totally alien.
so even though it took me a while to you know like that stuff, I think it was important to hear back then.
I think for sure, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so with that being said, now I know that this record specifically you kind of like got a hold of recently, like in the past couple of years.
Hmm.
Um, I talk about these records as far as like what kind of influence do they have on you as a musician and an artist. So does this record have any kind of influence on you now, or the the genre of rap kind of like starting up when you were a young kid in '83, around that era? Obviously, it wasn't '83 that rap started, but maybe the first time you heard of it.
Hmm.
What effect, if any, did it have on you artistically?
Uh, Probably the use or the misuse of technology was important.
Hmm.
Um, because at the time people were doing this stuff, uh, like even though there was, popular music, yeah, obviously new wave, started to use,
Electronic
synthesizers and
music,
vocoders and things, but
right?
not to the extent that like rap or electro did. So, and it's funny because in a way, like their use of like vocoders and electronics may be more progressive than like what a progressive rock band was doing at that time.
Hmm.
I mean, what was Emerson, Lake and Palmer doing in 1983? I don't know. That was 5 years after Love Beach. I don't know what they were doing, but
Oh man, yeah, that's
yeah,
a good question. I don't know either.
that might have been the dawn of Emerson, Lake and Powell, but I can't remember.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, you're probably correct.
Probably a bunch of Hammond organ, so
Right, right. But
50 years old at that point.
yeah, no, I know. It's just it's all kind of pretty new still, really, for
Mm-hmm.
you at that time. Um, and of course, you didn't go on to make music until when? When did you start making
I
music?
had a horrible band in high school, like 85, 86. But yeah, I didn't really like have a real band until like 1999, 2000, and which was when microwave started.
Okay.
Our first show was in 2000, but like John and I started working together in 1999 in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So you guys have been around for 20 years now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Yep, 22 years.
I know that you have a lot of records out.
Seven or something. I think the new one is seven. I'm not sure. I have to
Oh, is that
count.
it? I thought there was more. Maybe they're just
No,
some
there's an EP
splits
that's
and
yeah, there's a
EPs.
six-song EP, so that might be eight. Plus, there's a a split record that's out there and a couple 7 inches.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably why the discography is so bumped up looking.
right.
Now, do you consider microwaves to be noise rock music?
Oh no, heavens! I hate that term.
Oh yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I don't really hate it, and actually, it's a convenient catch-all. But
Sure.
we have certainly not aspired to be noise rock. I don't know. We're just I don't know. We're a metal band that writes bad riffs or something. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. Noise rock would be something like, I don't know, Dissecting Table, maybe. Something with rock beats and noise, or Alboth. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I mean, like,
but I know that that's not what people mean when they say noise rock. When they say noise rock, people mean like a ball cap and a aluminum neck guitar. But
well, is that what it means? I mean, because like actually, that's my question for you. Because
yeah.
like I'm kind of trying to. I know I like noise rock. Like
Sure.
from
So do
what
I.
I from
Of
what
course.
I know of it, and from the
Mhm.
bands that I know that are associated in that or can be categorized in that with that genre,
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
So,
Same
but
here.
what is it? Like, what is it to you?
Uh, Boy, I don't know.
Because what I've discovered, like because of the fest, because of the No Coast Fest that's
Right.
happening in October, I looked into just about every band so far that are on the
Mhm.
bills, and what I've noticed is that all of these bands are very different.
Mhm.
Like there's no one specific genre, like style that all of these bands kind of sound like, but yet they all fit under this category and this umbrella of noise rock.
I mean, yeah, it's rock music. It's all rock music, and it all employs dissonance in some form or another.
Hmm.
So it's not all like straight diatonic, major minor chord stuff.
Right.
It's
It's not necessarily singing style, melody. It's not necessarily instrumentation.
right because there are many people like there are many vocal styles. I mean, just the day that we're playing, lots of the bands have fairly drastically different vocal styles. Like, there's us. I think
USA Nails.
yeah, US Nails. Hammer Party is playing the same day as us, and
Yep. Psychic
I,
Graveyard.
neither me nor Adam sound like Dan, and none of us sound like Eric Paul. Although,
Right.
speaking of Psychic Graveyard and Eric Paul, he does a guest spot on our new record for what it's worth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
one track or
He does a little voiceover on one track. Yeah,
oh cool.
yeah. There's some other guests too. I can tell you who they are if you want to know.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like Todd Rittman from U.S. Maple and Dead Rider does a
Oh
guitar
wow.
solo. The same
Nice.
song that Eric Paul does his voiceover on. Sarah from the band Spotlights does one as
Hmm.
well, and
Okay.
Rebecca from Multicult plays a little bit of bass on a song as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Stacked lineup, man.
it is. It is. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this. Our record actually has two bass players on it this time. Adam, our current live bass player, plays on one side, and Adam's been in the band twice before. I don't know if people are aware of that. He played
Okay.
on the record Contagion Heuristic from 2006. Then he was in the band one other time as well. But on the other side of the record, Steve Moore plays bass. He was actually our original bass player back in 2000, and then
Oh,
he went on to be in. He does records under his own name. Plus, he's in the band Zombie,
okay.
who people may have heard of. But
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me.
yeah, he's the he. This all sort of happened during COVID when people had more time, and so
Oh, right.
Adam plays on one side, Steve plays on the other, and Steve did all the mixing. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
He's
should
the
be
engineer
interesting.
type.
Yeah. He mixes his own stuff plus mixes record for other folks.
Cool. That's great. So,
Good.
because we're speaking about your album again and kind of like getting this really great information about it, do you know what the first single will be? I'm imagining you're going to release a song at some point before the
I
official release.
believe it is a song called "Your Dumb Guts," if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Yeah.
And that song does not feature any of those guests that you have.
Uh, Todd Rittman does the guest guitar solo on that.
Okay.
And that one also that's from the Steve Moore side, not the Adam side. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Do you know when that will come out?
I don't know, but I
For
would
sure.
imagine there'd be some kind of press about it a couple weeks or a month before.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know exactly when, but
Okay. Yeah. And 31G is putting it out?
yes, yeah, it's on 31G.
Awesome.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sure it will be. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool.
Now this album I found out was the first to implement the use of vocoder technology in popular music, like entirely, because I guess there was some usage of it lightly or
I think that might be an exaggeration because it's prominent on the songs "We Are the Jonzun Crew" and like the song "Ground Control." But there
Hmm.
are other songs on there where they just do normal vocals, like "Space Cowboy." It's pretty much straight normal vocals.
Hmm.
Same with the song "Electro Boogie Encounter." That's might be a little bit of both. So I think that might be an exaggeration.
Okay.
But like, it's definitely prominent. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean, ELO
You know,
probably beat him to it. I don't know.
yeah, you know what? Actually, I think I got that information from an interview I read with Maurice Starr.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Do you know, are you familiar with him? Like as far as like,
I know he went on to do other production work. Like I think one of the boy bands was his creation, but I can't remember which one.
New Edition.
Okay,
And
right.
then eventually New Kids on the Block.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Wild.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so, but you have never seen an interview or read an interview with him?
No, no. I've read some
Okay.
stuff about like Michael Jonzun. I have a book about the history of the vocoder, and it talks about the record a good bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One
Because
kind of funny thing about it, like the book makes the case, and I don't know if this is confirmed, that like the instrumental song Pac Jam, of course it's instrumental, so it has no lyrics, so I don't know how you can tell what's it about, but it's supposedly about how much he hates Pac-Man. But there's no lyrics, so I don't know.
right.
And I
That's
identify
weird.
with that because like I really never liked Pac-Man, despite being the right age to that I should have.
Right. Yeah. What
Felt
other
like
kind
it
of
was
video
like,
games would you play?
well, I don't know. What's that?
What other video games could you play at the time?
Oh, there were lots. I mean, like I was very into the game Tempest and anything with those like the weird sharp vector graphics. And I
Oh,
thought
okay.
Pac-Man was a huge disappointment compared
Huh.
to that stuff. I don't know.
Wild.
And I really haven't played video games since. So
Oh, good. It's just a time suck, I'm
and
pretty
that's kind of
sure.
what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to stay the hell away from those. I can't do it.
Yep.
But so Maurice Starr just seemed really kind of full of himself.
Oh, I
Like
bet. Yeah.
in this interview, he just seemed like, obviously this thing that he says about, being the first to use a vocoder, and he had all of these uh, like estimates of like playing in front of 15,000 people. He had sold like, probably close to 1 million records before they signed with Tommy Boy.
Okay.
And I'm like, that doesn't sound
Doesn't
right.
sound right.
No,
It's,
I mean, that
yeah.
sounds like a bit of an exaggeration.
Oh, that sounds good. And I think this was the first record on Tommy Boy, if I'm not mistaken. The
Yes.
first full length album. They might have done singles.
Yes, you're right about that.
So,
That fact does not come from Maurice Starr.
and if I want, I could still cut this out and join the Tommy Boy Beat Alliance.
Nice. Oh, that's an original, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you got to enclose $10. Wow. Anyway,
$10
$10
in 83.
in '83. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. 83. That's a shit ton.
Yeah, yeah. Like, there's no way that. Like, I think he's really exaggerating on the vocoder thing because
Yeah.
people 10 years before them doing it, and like I said, it's only really prominent on 2 songs on the record. So,
Right.
I mean, I very much like it, but everybody is a bullshitter, I guess.
Yeah, no, he seemed like really full of it. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, to his credit, I'm not, saying it disparagingly, but I'm just think like this guy was kind of like laying it on a little thick in this interview.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's try to get into this record a little bit
Okay.
because it sure is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you were already talking about the first song, "We Are the Jonzun Crew."
Yeah.
It's pretty much cut and dry. It's kind of typical of like early hip hop music where it's kind of like a little showboaty, very much just stating your case, stating who you are, letting everybody know.
Right.
But they're wild. Like they used to play dressed up as like kind of like
astronauts or something.
Yeah, and Maurice Starr like wore like this weird like headdress, kind of like old colonial like parliament and stuff.
That's awesome. I don't know if he wears that in the video, but I think the video they were more like straight up space people. But yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and those videos are priceless.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like the one, the space cowboy one. I guess it showed that they were paying attention to the cultural landscape at large because, it's about a space cowboy. In the video, it's like some kind of rodeo scenario. And this is probably right in line with like the rise of, on a big level, like popular country music, like with the urban cowboy movie with John Travolta and all that garbage.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was a reaction to it or not, but it would have been better if it went the way they went instead of the way, the Eagles went or whatever,
Right. Okay. Well, so yeah, I mean, not really much to say about We Are the Jonzun Crew. I mean, it's just, like I said, just kind of cut and dry. Even lyrically, just kind of keeps on repeating itself.
Of course.
So the next song is Space is the Place.
Yeah. This is the one that I remember the least, even though I listened to this 3 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that one have vocals? I can't remember.
I believe it does.
See, that's the one that sticks in my mind the least out of all 6 of these for some reason. And I've actually got notes in front of me from the last time I listened to it. And I didn't write anything down about that one for whatever reason. So, I don't know.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Very unmemorable, I guess, for you.
I guess. I mean, I like it, but I don't have a comment on that one. So, yeah.
I'm seeing if it has lyrics. Oh, yeah, it does have lyrics.
Okay.
Pretty simple, pretty simplistic, and obviously, so most all of the songs on this album have a theme connected to space in general, and
Yes.
this is probably one of the best examples of that. Space does not contract me, moving faster than from my waist. Time doesn't distract me. Space is the place.
Yeah.
So forth. Your last album, Via Weightlessness, also looks, at least in the visual aspect of it, to have a connection to space.
Oh, sure. And there are some of the songs even may have subject matter that does. Actually, the title song, Via Weightlessness, the lyrics to that are more or less inspired by the book Roadside Picnic, which became the movie Stalker.
Oh, right.
The
Yeah,
Russian
John was
science
telling me
fiction
about
movie.
this.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Oh,
that's
okay.
what that one is about.
So you guys are a little bit of science fiction nerds.
Oh yeah, big time. Yes. So that's probably like another reason I picked this, because it's sort of in line with like the stuff that's going through our heads now as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because my question to you was going to be, what is your connection to space and science in general?
Yes. It's
I guess it's science fiction, huh?
Yeah, like that. I mean, I don't know about Adam as much, but definitely John and I, both are fans of science fiction. I read a lot of science fiction books, or at least I have over the years, and so yeah, and it's a theme that we come back to, like in our lyrics, quite a bit,
fairly regularly. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for this new record?
Yeah, like for example, there's a song called "Stench of Earth," and this one is probably like a little less serious than like the song "Via Weightlessness," but like the lyrics are almost hokey in like a Misfits kind of way, but it sort of summarizes the plot of the movie Shockwaves. But then there's a second verse about aliens. So I mean,
okay.
I don't know if do you know the movie Shockwaves?
Yeah, I don't know if I watched that movie.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. More of a better idea. Maybe it's a better idea than it is in execution, but it's all right.
I mean, you have to have the like. I mean, I know that I used to date a girl that was like all into like the weird horror movie genre stuff, and it's just like you just kind of have to have that mindset about you to kind of get into that. Yeah, because there's definitely like an aspect behind them that's kind of interesting and fun. But yeah, I just can't remember if I actually watched this one or not.
Oh, sure,
it's possible. All right, well, let's move on to the next song, Electro Boogie Encounter.
Yeah. That one is sort of like, I guess, the furthest from the science fiction aspect of the record. It's more of like, it seems to me to be more like, straight up, just dance music. And, they're using the word boogie a lot, which is another thing that used to happen, in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. How are you at boogieing?
Not good. Not good.
Yeah. Even back then, the 80s?
No. At least they're not using the British pronunciation, where they say like boogie.
Boogie.
Which is kind of funny. It's endearing, I guess.
Yeah, it's wild. Those English accents. So you're not a dancer, huh? No, you don't never.
I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't or wouldn't. I'm just not good at it.
I think everyone can.
I'm not opposed to it.
I am.
Some people might be.
I am. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Okay.
Because I just feel like I'm like a stick. I just can't move right.
Oh yeah.
It's just embarrassing for me.
Okay. That's all right. Well, don't do it.
if I'm gonna try to get down, I'm gonna need a few drinks in me.
Okay.
So yeah, if that's happening, look out, because there's trouble. Right. There's trouble coming, probably. I don't know. It's just, and I hate that, really, because I feel like that's such a bummer of like a loss of expression. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I really admire people that are strong dancers, that really enjoy it and that feel it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm not good at it.
Yeah, and like, so then even being at a show, like a rock show, I mean, even that, I guess I got the old dad bod thing happening, where I just kind of sit in the back and just kind of like, maybe nod.
Sure, that's fine.
No, I mean, I think so, but it's just like, I want to be up front like I used to be, like right at the, on the stage, just fucking banging away with everybody else.
Right. You're not doing that though.
Yeah, it's like you get a bang over, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm too old for this shit, I guess, is the problem. All right. So Electric Boogie Encounter, I mean, yeah, pretty much straightforward.
Yep.
Great little dance number if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
Next song is Ground Control.
This is another one, like, where they're clearly doing the science fiction thing. They're explaining that they've got to leave to get back to their home planet, which is contrary to what they said in the first song, but we'll give them a break. But yeah, this is another one. It's the title of this. Maybe it's a nod to the Bowie song. I don't know. But, looking at like the science fiction influence in music at large, that's something that's sort of like sort of disappeared from everywhere. Like, because Bowie would do things like song Space Oddity, hence with the word ground control in it, or Ashes to Ashes, sort of a sequel to that. Hawkwind was largely science fiction influenced.
Oh yeah.
But and there were others as well, but like, it's not done so much anymore, I don't think. But maybe the 70s and 80s notion of the future is passé, and maybe it is.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's constantly innovation and constantly like a desire and an interest in outer space in general. I mean, like there's definitely obsessions with like, space travel and the possibility of extraterrestrial life, which I think is fascinating. Are you into aliens at all?
Not exactly, although like it's like I was gonna say, like, I think like what maybe has happened is like the vision of the future is like put forth by someone like J.G. Ballard turned out to be more accurate. So it's not space travel and aliens. It's
right.
It's like dehumanizing office parks instead.
Yeah, right.
So, and we're there,
So. Little less romantic.
Yeah, right. So,
I want my flying car, God damn it.
Yeah. We actually, one of our other songs from the last record, Via Weightlessness, the song Ex Moonwalker, that's actually based on a J.G. Ballard short story, the Dead Astronaut, for what it's worth. But anyway, I just remembered another one, so yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it'll come to you, I'm sure. It's hard to think of all these things, right?
Right.
Well, so Ground Control, sample lyrics are ground control. We are going to our place of rock. as you had mentioned, the little bit of the contradiction that they state.
Yep.
Where is your place of rock?
Place of birth?
Rock.
Is that what they say? I thought they said place of birth. Maybe I'm confused.
No, they say, where is your place of rock? Let me just double check that.
I bet your lyrics is that from like a lyric site or something?
I think Apple supplies the lyrics like with the song when you're playing it.
That's peculiar. I don't know that that's right, but because I could have sworn they said place of birth. Maybe they're not. Maybe it doesn't matter. All right.
Yeah. No.
What is my place of rock?
Ground control. We must be ground control. We must be planet rock. Ground control. We are going to our place of rock.
Nah, there may be a different version because on the record I have it says it's Earth and birth that they're rhyming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but see, he doesn't say Earth here.
On mine he does.
Maybe they're just completely wrong.
Or there might be more than one version. It's also possible. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with this record, and I don't know about any other variants.
Well,
what
is my place of rock? The Brillo box. It's a place we play in Pittsburgh a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and where do you guys rehearse?
We used to rehearse in a storage unit, which is what most people do, but we stopped rehearsing during COVID for over a year. And John actually found a place of our own. We rent a small building and we have the whole place. And
really,
it's real nice. I mean, there's 3 bands in there, but there's only 6 people in the 3 bands.
Because, like in the room that you're in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you share a space.
Basically, the one room is the whole place. And
right.
Like I said, there are 3 bands, but only 6 people total because John's in every band that's in the space. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's
and Adam, our bass player, is in 2 of them. So yeah.
Oh.
Brown Angel practices there. That's Adam's band with John.
Oh, okay.
And then John's new band also practices there. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it sounds like an upgrade from a storage space.
It is. Because storage spaces are filled with other people. And they're making noise, which is what, you do in a place like that. But you would have people coming and asking you if you could keep it quiet because they're trying to record, which is,
yeah,
it doesn't really work. Yeah.
Right. Well, so that's weird. But so you're saying that, that's what is common is that storage spaces are used for rehearsing?
Yes. And the storage spaces are in on it. They're not it's not people being surreptitious about it. It's
right.
I guess the place we used to play, the top floor was almost all band rooms. And I think the top floor rooms were less desirable for people looking for storage for whatever reason, because if the elevator broke, they were out of luck, I guess. I don't know.
Sure, right.
But yeah. But yeah, a lot of bands in Pittsburgh practice in storage spaces.
That's weird.
I don't know if it's that way nationally, but it is here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading about this. I was just reading about Guns N' Roses recently, and so they used to rehearse in a storage space in Los Angeles. It's obviously economical. It's a cheap way to kind of have a little room, but those guys were also kind of living in that storage space at the time too. So definitely not glamorous, but possible, I guess.
Sure.
Wild. Well, I'm happy that you have this cool new space. It sounds like it's a lot more productive.
It is. It
conducive
is
to production.
Yes. And I recorded all the guitar parts there, for the record, because I could go there and it was quiet and nobody else was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next song, Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, this is the one where they're keeping up with the times and I guess throwing their hat into the modern country ring, sort of thing was popular back then, heyday of Barbara Mandrell and all that crap. But it has a really ridiculous video, with a mechanical bull and Michael Jonzun wearing a cowboy hat and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, in an interview with Michael Jonzun, he said that he grew up listening to George Jones, Willie Nelson, and Gene Autry.
Oh, quite possible. Sure.
Yeah. No, but black men were not supposed to like country western music.
Which is odd because like there were a fair number of them involved in it a long time ago, and then
Sure, but I think it was just like the aesthetic of that period, when
without
he
a
was
doubt,
growing up.
yeah.
And especially like getting into hip hop, rap music, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to look to country music. I don't think. It's not. They're not supposed to be associated with it or something like that. There's some kind of like purist mentality, probably, or something like that.
Right.
So this song is a callback to country music with their own Boston funk twist on it.
Yeah, but like they quote the Morricone Western theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me what you pulled away from this album, if anything?
Maybe like I guess like a sense of camaraderie almost that like like you know these are people who are sort of have a sci-fi bent to their music, and our band sort of does as well. Yet we're completely different, but like you know, I almost feel their kindred spirits a little bit, even though it's a completely different end result.
Right.
For sure.
So you don't think you guys are going to dress up like astronauts or anything?
No, we used to actually wear jumpsuits from like 20 years ago. Like the first maybe 3 years of the band, we wore these jumpsuits with microwave silk screened on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I should have put it on for this. I wasn't thinking. I still have one. Yeah.
No, that's okay. No, that's cool though. I mean, like I like the uniform aspect. I mean, like I think it's a kind of a very like popping visual to see a band that is in uniform.
Right.
So, but yeah, you guys aren't going to do that. That's not your gimmick. That's not your thing.
Yeah, probably not. And like there was nothing wrong with the ones that we had, but it was kind of bland, so it was maybe counterproductive to like having a uniform that pops.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the last song.
Yeah.
I guess because on the record, this is the last song, correct?
Correct. Pack Jam. Yes.
Yeah, because I've been listening to the digital release, and then there's 2 other versions of Pack Jam that are included in that. But so this is Pack Jam, and then I guess when it was originally released, it was called Pac Man.
Yeah.
Look out for the OVC.
Okay, yeah, and I don't know what OVC. What does OVC stand for?
Well, this is what I found out.
Uh-huh.
OVC means Outer Space Visual Communicator.
That's funny.
Yeah, and Michael Jonzun states that that doesn't mean anything.
I would have assumed that was the case.
Yeah,
it sounds like the movie This Island Earth has this device in it called an interocitor, which is just this triangular thing that you use to communicate with aliens. And
right. Okay.
The guy in the movie builds it from a kit, and he starts talking to aliens.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of similar theme, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I mean, in the interview, he kind of went on to explain it a little further, saying that he had some like wizard keyboard player who had some kind of device, or like his keyboard was hooked up to this light simulator thing where it would light up their name, like each key would light up a different letter of their name.
And there's another, like, I don't know if people remember this. Back in the 70s, and this maybe still existed in the early 80s, and then it died out. Like, you could buy these things like Sears or Radio Shack. They called them like light organs. And it was basically a thing that looked like a speaker, and it had a bunch of lights in it and sensors that would theoretically respond to the music, but it looked the same no matter what you did, from what I ever saw of them.
Okay.
Such a weird thing for people to spend money on it, put it in the corner of their den or whatever kind of room they had.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I never knew anybody who ever had one. I only ever saw them in stores. It's kind of odd. But yet they seem to be everywhere. Yeah. In the stores, at least. So.
Yeah, they never sold, so they just stayed in the store. That's the only place you'd see it. So Michael stated that it didn't really mean anything, but was kind of in a way, in some kind of strange, like weird backwards way. It was a form of communication for them.
Okay.
So, have you ever hoped that your music would land in a specific way with an audience?
Well, yeah. I hope they see the humor in it, which not that like we're Weird Al or anything, but like there is actually like slight there. I feel that there's like a little bit of a humorous aspect to some of our music. I don't know if it
Right.
comes across that way or not to other people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so you're saying lyrically.
Lyrically and musically, there are parts that we've played on records that like the first time we played in practice, we start laughing because like it's kind of ridiculous as music,
Yeah.
So it happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know if I've ever picked up on that.
Uh, this earlier records, like there's a song on the first EP called Central Office, and a song on the second record called Police Biz. That's sort of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And it happens other times too, but those are the first two that came to mind.
So do you think it's kind of like when we were talking about the Shockwaves movie,
Mm-hmm.
kind of in that same vein of like, just being so out of like ludicrous to a
Yes,
point of humor?
without a doubt. Yeah, 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 for sure. Yep.
Okay, because I always thought of you guys as like a prog band.
Well, we are, but we're not we're not completely dour and humorless, I hope.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, see, I mean, it's that thing though. It's a weird thing where I think that you have to obviously be listening pretty closely to maybe come away with that kind of result.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, because honestly, I don't think I've listened that hard or kind of like with that intent.
Gotcha.
Because I analyze a lot of stuff now, but I've never tried to analyze microwaves yet.
Speaking of humor, I almost wish I picked a different record now that we got on the topic, but that's all right. So,
Why? What's
have you
that?
ever heard just something a record that's very funny and like was actually a big influence on us, oddly, even though it sounds nothing like what we would do. It's, you ever heard? You know who Nandor Navai is?
No.
Okay, he made this record where I won't explain who he is right now, but like he made this record where the band name was The Restaurants, and the record title was called the A Cappella Cantata, despite the fact that it's not a cappella at all. And it's
Uh-huh.
basically like the first four songs. He takes this Boston Pops record where they're playing music from Saturday Night Fever, and he sort of like I assume freestyle improvises lyrics over it. It's pretty great,
Hmm.
very funny. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now.
yeah. Yeah, I actually it's funny, and it popped into my head because at the flea market last week, I actually came across the Boston Pops record that they used when he did this, and
Oh, okay.
that's called Saturday Night Fiedler, and Arthur
Oh,
Fe- Arthur Fiedler was the conductor of the Boston Pops, and
oh, I see. And it was a play on Saturday Night Fever. I get it.
yeah, I mean,
Okay, okay. So wait, what was his
this
name
should be
again?
funny if somebody else was delivering this information, but I'm not good at it, so yeah.
No, no, I
No.
like that I get it, and I admire and I appreciate that thing because that's something that's kind of sublime. It's like kind of it's shrouded in the music.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
music has such a hard edge to it
Right.
that it's hard to kind of peripherally kind of listen to it and even assume that maybe there's some humor to it,
Oh, sure.
you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm sorry. So what was this guy's name again?
Oh, Nandor Navai,
Nando
Nevai.
Nervai?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not finding it in the Apple Music, but that's all
Oh,
right.
it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that obscure.
I don't know that it is, but yeah, it's pretty much that obscure.
Okay. Well, then I'm glad that you chose this one because this one was hard enough as it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's better than I did this one.
Well, cool, man. I mean, so that's it. I mean, that was the end of the record.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty short one, actually.
It is, yeah.
That was nice. Only about 6 tracks.
Yep. I also like that. I like records. Like I can appreciate a long album if it's really, really good, but like most of the time, 36 minutes is plenty for a rock record.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, there's only so much you can withstand, especially if it's particularly abrasive.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I've been blowing my brains out with the noise rock in the past few days. It's been.
See, I gave you a break. See.
Yeah. No, you have. It's been great.
I figured everybody else was going to pick some kind of really strident, hard to take. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't think so. I mean,
good.
I haven't gotten everybody's selection yet because I'm still lining people up.
Okay.
But from as of right now, it's a pretty good mix.
Oh, good.
And I think that is telling of what I was talking about earlier with researching the bands that are on the bills for this festival and how they're all so different. They're all it's all kind of rock music. It all fits into that realm, and it all fits into this noise rock genre specifically, but they're all pretty different, Okay. So I think that as far as an audience is concerned, like what these people will be witnessing for this festival, I think they're in for a treat.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because even if there's not necessarily a massive noise rock fan, let's just say there's going to be a group of people that are there specifically to see one band, like one of the headlining bands. Let's say Tropical Fuckstorm, because that's the people that are playing on your night.
Mm-hmm.
Their music is so fucking weird.
It is, yeah.
And it's not like heavy noise rock music. It's not rock music-y. It's not abrasive and kind of loud in that traditional sense.
Right.
It's just kind of weird.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'll be nice. Yeah, it looks like we're on a good night. Not that there's anything off the other nights.
No, absolutely not. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So Dave, I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see you down there. And and best of luck on the tour. By the way, Dan says hi.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Dan.
I'll let him know. We'll see this soon enough, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Vinyl and Vision is a Psychic Static production. Theme song written and performed by Jeff Robbins of 123 Astronaut.